Hey everyone, I'm Matthew Evans. In this video, we're gonna give you a behind-the-scenes look at the making of our latest 48-hour film, Kairos. This film won Best Director and Best Film in the 2022 Albuquerque 48-Hour Film Project, and we wanted to give you a behind-the-scenes glimpse at what it was like to make this film in just 48 hours for the competition. Now, if you haven't watched Kairos yet, be sure to go and watch it. We might talk about some spoilers in this video, so I want to make sure you've seen the film before you watch any further.
So for Kairos, I was the cinematographer.
I helped write the script as well as acted in it.
My name is Ryan, and I played Adam in Kairos.
My name is Joshua Gamboa. I got to play the stranger, and I also got to help wherever I could.
I'm Kaylee, and I was script supervisor, and I was the extra who broke their ankle.
I was in it as longboarder girl number 2, I think, and I also helped with set dressing and set design.
With each 48-hour film project, I think every time that we do one, there's always this aspect of, I mean, the first year we started, it was, what is this and how do we do this and how do we make it work? And oh yeah, 48 hours, it has to be completely done. And then the second year was, we don't mention that year, and then we moved forward, and I think the first year where it really all felt like it was gelling together was when we did Wretched. So with Wretched, I think the really cool thing was that we weren't expecting to win, and then somehow we won Best Film, which was very shocking to everyone involved. And then pandemic happened and the world shut down, and then everyone had to try and figure out how to do filming and do life in a different way. And so then this one was definitely different because we weren't sure really what to expect, or at least I wasn't really sure what to expect. It was very different from all the things.
Where did the story of Kairos begin? Well, it began on Friday evening, July 29th. What they do at these 48-hour film projects is give every team a choice between 2 different genres. Every team gets a different choice, but you have to make your film within one of those 2 genres. Our genre choice was time travel movie or dark comedy. And it was very clear to me right from the beginning that we were going to make a time travel movie. So that Friday evening, the 2 writers for the film, my wife, Soraya Getty Evans, and her co-writer, Evelyn Coffing, pounded out this amazing script about this guy who uses time travel to try to go back and save his wife before this impending nuclear apocalypse. We had a great script, but we still had a lot to shoot the next day. So that's what the Saturday in a 48-hour film project is for, typically. It's for production, it's for shooting the film. Okay, action!
So it was interesting, only seeing the script maybe an hour or 2 before we actually started shooting. But it was really cool because the script was so well written that I remember sitting on the couch and reading through it the first time and like tears welling up on my eyes. Like right away I fell in love with the script and I was able to relate to it. You know, Adam is traveling through time and space to get to his wife, and so I was able to just think like, oh my gosh, like what if, you know, my wife was, you know, what lengths would I go to save her life, you know? And so I was able to put a lot of myself into it. I was able to connect with the character and the script really quickly. I mean, we did have such a short amount of time to, you know, go over that script, and then it's like, okay, we're going right now, you know? So Adam has this sense of urgency in the film, and we had this, you know, real sense of urgency on the day of shooting.
You gotta do that one more time, so reset, guys.
We got to do crazy things. I mean, I saw people running up and down the streets. I say they did running, like I didn't do running. I got to run on a mesa, yay. So much fun.
3, 2, 1, action.
I couldn't walk. Fun story the following day.
I think that the heat always gets to you. I would say the heat here is always the thing when you're filming outside. The shots look great outside, but then during it, you're just like, I really don't want to film outside at all. But then you look at the shot and you're like, okay, it was worth it. But definitely the heat, I would say, for me is always a thing.
It was 90 degrees and I was wearing like 4 layers. I was very hot. It was easy to stay in character.
At one point, I was the water girl for Ryan. So I had like a mister and a water bottle, and they were filming a scene, Matthew and Ryan, and they just kept going down the street. They just kept going, and I was like, am I supposed to follow him?
Well, you almost died trying to follow me while running that first time, and I was it's like, oh great, I killed the director.
Matthew.
Oh gosh.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. That was a disaster. Okay.
Seeing how everyone worked together was an awesome sight to see. Everyone worked very well as a team. Everybody was just willing to do what it took to make things work. It didn't look like there was problems really ever.
It was very busy. There's a lot to do and not a lot of time. I was really only there for the filming process of it, but it was very busy. There was a lot of stuff to do, but it was very fun. It's really cool to see how the creativity stretches in such a short amount of time.
It's always a lot of fun, and it's challenging, definitely, because you have to like just get everything together super quick. But mostly fun. Sometimes it can be a bit chaotic, but it's a good chaos.
Get in!
Boom, we're dead.
The desperation! All right.
Smile, don't smile.
Right.
Did it too soon, I'm sorry.
I was like, yeah, never mind. I'm sorry.
Reset. Just a second. So I'm gonna go. And then, hello. My name is Katie.
So I wasn't 100% sure even what to expect coming into this. I've never been a part of a project that was on such a time crunch. But for that time crunch, I think the professionalism of the team was the main thing that I like noticed throughout everything. Everything was crisp, everything was on point. So even though we were kind of like going, it never felt like things were being too rushed. It felt like, man, we're making like a quality piece of work here. Like, this is an incredible team. This is an incredible project. So it was a lot of fun.
Let's see the wound. You still have the wound?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
She broke her ankle.
that's intense. Yeah, that looks really real too.
Fine. Soraya did a great job. She's an amazing makeup artist. She is.
Nova, tell us all about your experience. Did you have fun? Wow. Just that great, huh?
After we finished shooting the neighborhood sequences, we moved on to shooting the stairwell, basically the hideout that the main character is surviving in the post-apocalyptic world. So we filmed that in some back hallways at Cottonwood Mall, and we had a great production design team who put together this really cool, small, kind of run-down set full of survival gear that Adam would need to survive in this post-apocalyptic world.
Just going place to place, seeing how everything unfolded. There was tons of coordination with everybody. We went to the mall to set up behind, kind of behind the scenes there at the mall. That was really cool to see everybody kind of just putting everything together, set up that scene.
I liked the setting up set design with a couple of those people. It was really cool. At the house, Soraya told me, just grab anything you want to use. And so I kind of thought, well, what do you need to live? So like a sleeping bag, food, water. So I got all that stuff from the camping box. And then when we got there, I was just kind of like, make it look like a homeless person lives here. So that's what I did. Someone actually lived here. It was so cool. It was like, he lives here. This is his place. This is where he's comfortable and stuff. He goes here to hide and think.
I really liked all the scenes we did in the stairwell at Cottonwood Mall, just because I think those all had the big emotional punch to them. So that was really interesting to see.
After we filmed at Cottonwood Mall, we headed to our third location, which was an actual genuine Cold War bunker. One of the coolest locations we've ever filmed at. This was not a movie set. This was a real Cold War bunker from the era that actually had items in it involved in survival in case you needed to shelter in a blast shelter like this. Had food rations and different things like that in there, and a real challenge to film in because the space was small. There was no way that I could stand up fully inside the space since I'm pretty tall. But we were fitting a bunch of extras down in there, having them climb down this ladder, trying to keep up the intensity of the moment of them trying to quickly shelter in this bomb shelter, while also needing to be safe and have people carefully climb down this real ladder into a real bomb shelter.
Definitely the bunker scene. That was so cool. Plus the owner was really cool about it. so grateful he let us use that, and it was a challenge. I'm like, okay, I have to use a really wide lens to get in there, but I was so excited to actually get those shots. I'm like, when are you ever gonna do that? Like, such a crowded space with the two, like, just this big, and you're just like cramped in there, and you're like, okay, go, action.
Yo, what up? I'm here with the homies in the boat.
Get out of my way. Listen, I need you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm almost at 100 subscribers. Oh my God. This is my documentary, my journey of my incredible survival of this nuclear war. So listen.
Originally, we had planned to shoot at our 4th location on Saturday, because typically Sunday, when the time is running out and the 48 hours are almost complete, is pretty much just for editing. We ran out of time on Saturday because we had so many locations in this film, so we had to push a scene to Sunday. So this was kind of an interesting experience, because as director, I actually wasn't even at this scene because I was back at home already editing the film. So as soon as they got back with the footage from that film around noon or so that day, I grabbed the memory card and you know, added that scene to the rough cut that I was building.
Physically difficult was the next morning. We had to do pickup shoots down in the burnt out part of the Bosque. And I felt horrible. I felt like trash. You know, after the 14 hours of the first day, I went home. I had not 1 ounce of energy in my bones. I had no voice. I was very hot. And so waking up the next day early in the morning and going back out there in that heat to shoot those scenes with Josh, that was pretty bad. And we're just surrounded by ash also. So every breath you take is just ash and heat. Yeah, when my voice cracked in that scene, that was very real. I had no voice at all. And so I'm like, give it to me. And I'm like ready to start weeping out of just pain and tiredness, but it helped a lot.
But my favorite shot that I did
Yeah.
was in the Bosque where it had burnt a little, but it had a fire. And I remember the night too that was burning too, as I went to work and saw it burning. I didn't think I'd get to film in there. It was a very interesting circumstance there, but it just goes to show that you can film something beautiful and something that was like destructive. But you see that when we were there, it was a couple of weeks afterward the fire had happened, so there was already new growth already starting. So you could kind of see that it kind of went with the film too. There's like death and destruction, but then throughout everything, throughout the ashes, there's like a new rebirth out of everything. There's something always new that's gonna come back. So being able to film that there, I think was one of my favorite shots to do, was the pan with the trees seeing it, and then the conversation there.
Working with AJ was really fun because he, you know, a cinematographer mindset, so we're trying to set up for the scene. And there was just ideas flowing already once he got there, just for what he wanted to shoot and what he was seeing. So let him kind of plan his shots and everything while my makeup was being done with Caitlin.
The editing of this film was a really unique experience because the editing of a 48-hour film is always a big challenge. There's such a limited amount of time to do all the different pieces of editing. I've done a lot of these timed film competitions, but the editing on this one was unique because I was editing a film about a guy who was running out of time while I myself was running out of time. But at the end of the 48 hours, we successfully got the film turned in, and at that point, we just had to wait for the screenings.
My favorite thing about 48 is that you get that instant gratification of there's a finished project by the end of the weekend. And so it's always fun to get to see what's the finished project, and I think we did a really good job with this one, and apparently other people agree.
Making it to the best of was already just huge. It felt fantastic. It was great to get back together with everybody, and it was incredible to see all of these other films that had made it to the top 10, made by a wide range of creators. Going into that, there was this really intense competition, which I think felt really good. You know, it's nice watching these other films and knowing that there's real competition there.
There was another team that I was looking at, I was like, they're probably gonna win. They're really good and they're a really nice couple, so it's like, they got it. And then when the awards started coming out, they won a few, and then other teams won, and then we weren't. So I was like, I guess it's just not our year. We had fun though, so I was like, it was a good time. I was still sweating though. I was like, you know, maybe.
Alright, Ron. The first place winner is Cairo!
you just hear the name. It was so weird just hearing that name, Kairos. It seemed like it was off in the distance, and it like Kairos. I was like, what?
The award ceremony was, again, another shock. I don't think anybody saw us winning this one, and we won Best Film again.
What a twist. Like, there wasn't like, throughout the whole thing, there wasn't that feeling like, oh, we know where this is going. We know where this is going. We really had no idea. And when they announced the third and second place, like my mind just started swimming, because both the third and second place films were films that I think could have won. They were really, really well shot. They were really well, acted. They were beautiful pieces of art. And so it got down to it, and here's the first place film for the Albuquerque 48-Hour Film Festival. And when I heard Kairos, I mean, I jumped out of my seat, like all like proper, all etiquette went out the window. Up until that point, it's just very polite, congratulations. But I launched out of my seat, man. That was just such an incredible feeling. And it was incredible to get to share that with this team, like to see all the work that everybody put in, to see a beautiful product come out of that, and then to celebrate a win together. It felt like such a gift to get to celebrate that with everybody.
What an amazing experience making this film. This was, in my opinion, the best team that we've ever had for making a 48-hour film. This team came together like I've never seen before to pull off a really challenging and ambitious film.
I would say it would be just being a team with everybody, and just like making a team out of like just people that you grab here and there, and it's always different, so you just come together and just make a film, and you're also just like exhausted together. You just all can just look at each other and you're all just like, are you good? You're like so tired but you just keep going. You're like, oh, it's the next scene, just go. I think just that experience, like no one really ever has that experience unless you're doing this 48, so I think that's the real enjoyment out of it.
It was a really good team. I think that was one of the things that I love most about it, was that I didn't know about half the team when we started, and by the end I think we had a really good, solid team that put together a lot of effort. That was really cool to get to see the whole experience of just everyone really bringing their A game and doing what they loved.
I've kind of wondered where all of the creatives are. I've wondered like where is that filmmaking community? And I know that I've worked with different groups of people in the past, like kind of temporarily or for a single project or whatever. But I just feel so blessed to have found Los Metates Studios. I had no idea how long Los Metates has been around or all of the projects that they've worked on. But I feel blessed to have jumped on at this point where things like the quality of work and the quality of the team and that camaraderie is just so high. Like it almost feels unfair to jump on at this point when you guys have so many years of work behind you. But I feel super blessed to jump on it. So I'm really just excited to work with this team again. I'm really excited to really make anything with this group of people.
Okay, and cut, good. Very good. Excellent, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this behind the scenes look at the making of Kairos, our recent 48-hour film project short film. If you enjoyed this video, please let us know. We were kind of trying something new here with behind the scenes, and I hope you enjoyed getting a glimpse behind the scenes of the making of this film. We're going to be making more short films and more behind the scenes like this in the future, and talking more about the process of filmmaking. What does it take to make good short films? What makes a film cause an audience to laugh and cry and be deeply moved by a story? Well, we're going to talk more about that kind of stuff. So thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Okay?
I think my ankle is broken.
Did you try wiggling it?